Hello, I'm Dick Cavett, and let me ask you, the date August 19th, 1969, does that ring a bell? It was a night that I did a particularly good show. It was, well, it's been called the Woodstock Show ever since. One of the guests, incidentally, Joni Mitchell, had a choice of Woodstock or the show, and she had probably thought she should go to Woodstock and support everybody, but her manager convinced her to not miss the show, and it's said to have helped her career. I didn't know any of that at the time. I'd have been a nervous wreck. Stephen Stills, David Crosby on that show, and that, of course, brings to mind what two words? Jefferson Airplane. In this show, just before going on, somebody comes up to me and ties a silk scarf around my neck. And I thought I was hip enough. I think I had jeans on and some kind of unobjectionable shirt. And they tied this thing on me, and I went out and I did the monologue. And I looked like something off Liberace's dressing table. I don't know what it was, but I rip it off and say, this scarf isn't making it. And a friend of mine, who also appears in this tape, said at the time he hoped I was going to reach up and pull the scarf off. Perhaps that's why we became friends. Anyway, you'll enjoy this. Sit back, relax.
The Dick Cavett Show with Jefferson Airplane and Joni Mitchell. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Cavett.
I must thank all of you for waiting this long to see me. Really exciting. Those at home may notice that I don't always dress this way, but I was dressed this way today. This is not my own, actually, but they thought it might be nice. And I'll see if I can get used to it. Those of you around the country probably read about it. Went through a lot of inconvenience up there. It was very rainy, very muddy, and I understand there were even roaches, and it's really... A lot of the conditions were not ideal, but they went through a lot of trouble to get here, and thank you. And I did not get to go to Woodstock, and I heard a lot about it. Even that one of the problems was that the facilities were rather primitive in some sense, right? I know some society people who went up there and had their first chance to groove on Sears Roebuck. You know what I mean? And I want to tell you, is it Bethel, New York? Is that the name of the town? Yeah, I know some people up there who were they're sort of rural, and they were not really expecting all the people who showed up. The guru of Bethel is Tennessee Ernie Ford. So that would give you some idea. But anyway, we have an interesting show tonight. We have so much electricity here that worried gentlemen standing in the back are from Con Edison in case there's an overload. They're a little worried about that. If we did have a short go out with all the electrical equipment that we have on today's show, Buffalo, New York will go out. And Niagara Falls will back up? I doubt that. Anyway, you may have noticed, those who regularly watch the show, that Bobby Rosengarten is not here because we have all this music. Rosengarten is out of sight today, you might say. Literally. Some of the guys in Rosengarten's group went to Woodstock, and they just made the trip up there, and a couple of them made a trip while they were there. And they're home trying to freak in. 2, 3, 4 guests are today. I cannot make it with this scarf.
Yeah!
I tell you. No, I really can't. There's a very small interior decorator has the apartment next to me. This is his bedspread. And he loaned it to me. But we have the Jefferson Airplane, the great Jefferson. The marvelous. There they are. Morning, Grace. Oh, Joni Mitchell, another remarkable musician. Will you welcome Joni Mitchell? Joni would be here if for no other reason than the fact that she's the only singer named Joni who hasn't recorded You Saw Me Crying in the Church. I think that's a real tribute. A little inside, right? And we have, I'll tell you what, why don't we go away, have a message, and come back? Might be fun. Everybody is always trying to define today's rock music, and there are phrases like hard rock and folk rock and acid rock and revolution rock and schlock rock and, I don't know, we have none of that on the show today, but we do have some giants in the field, and I would like you to meet, they're not in the field now, they were this weekend. What's happening? Will you welcome one of the greatest exports ever to come out of San Francisco, the great Jefferson Airplane.
Property is target for your enemy, and your enemy is we. Da 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 da. Forces of chaos and anarchy, everything they say we are, and we are very proud of ourselves. Up against the wall, up against the wall, motherfuckers, tear down the wall, tear down the wall. it on together. Everybody together. We should be together. We can be together, my friend. We should be together. We will be. We must begin here and now. A new continent, earth and fire. Tear down the wall. Come on now, getting higher and higher. Tear down the wall. Tear down the wall. Tear down the wall. Won't you try? Look what's happening out in the street. Got a revolution. Hey, I'm dancing down the street. Got a revolution. Now ain't it amazing when the people I meet. Got a revolution. One generation got old. One generation got sold. This generation got new. This generation no home. Pick up the cry. And now it's time for you and me. Got a revolution. Come on now, we're marching to the sea. Got a revolution. Woo, take it from me, we will and who we. We are volunteers of America. Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America. Yeah. Got a revolution. Look what's happening out in the street. Got a revolution. Hey, I'm dancing down the street. Got a revolution. Now ain't it amazing when the people I meet. Got a revolution. We are volunteers of America. Yeah, volunteers of America. Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America.
You were wonderful. Boy, is the old lady upstairs going to be sore. We have the lady I introduced to you earlier. Are you comfortable there?
Not really.
See.
It's the Naga. It's about the Naga hide things with the plastics. Like
Naga hide. Do you think that's a little precious? We actually chopped the feet off 8 Naga elephants. We're like little elves sitting here. I would like you to meet a true musical artist, and her name is Joni Mitchel, and she is standing to my right.
It was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard was a song outside my window, and the traffic wrote the words. It came a-ringing up like Christmas bells and wrapping up like pipes and drums. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on a day, and we'll wear it till the night comes. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun through yellow curtains and a rainbow on my wall. Blue, red, green, and gold to welcome you, crimson crystal beads to beckon. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on a day. There's a sun show every second. The curtain opens on a portrait of today, and the streets are paved with passers-by, and pigeons fly, and papers lie waiting to blow away. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I knew, there was milk and toast and honey, and a bowl of oranges too, and the sun poured in like butterscotch and stuck to all my senses. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on a day, and we'll talk in present tenses. When the curtain closes and the rainbow runs away, I will bring you incense owls by night, by candlelight, by jewel light, if only you will stay. Pretty baby, won't you wake up? It's a Chelsea morning. For my man and a song for the moon. Well, he is my child, he is my father. I would be his lady all my life. He says he'd love to live with me, but for an ancient injury that has not healed. He said, I feel once again like I gave my heart too soon. He stood looking through the lace at the face on the conquered moon. The stars on my windowsill, He says our love cannot be real. He cannot hear the chapels pealing silver bells. But you know it's hard to tell when you're in the spell if it's wrong or real. But you're bound to lose if you let the blues get you scared to feel. And I feel like I'm just being born, like a shiny light breaking in a storm. There are so many reasons why I love him. Well, he is my child, he is my father. Thank you. This is a song about a fellow who plays on the corner of 6th and 8th here in New York City. Real good for free. I slept last night in a good hotel. I went shopping today for jewels. The wind rushed around in the dirty town, and the children let out from their schools. I was standing on a noisy corner, waiting for the walking green. Across the street he stood and he played real good on his clarinet for free. Now me, I play for fortunes and those velvet curtain calls. Got a black limousine and 2 white men escorting me to the house. Now I play if you have the money, or if you're a friend to me. But the one-man band by the quick lunch stand, he was playing real good for free. Nobody stopped to hear him, though he played so sweet and high. They knew he had never been on their TV, so they passed his music by. I meant to go over and ask for a song, maybe
festival? Did it feel good?
At 4 o'clock in the morning,
4 in the morning?
in the rain.
We were there at 7:30 in the morning.
It felt good.
Try 7:30 or 8.
Right.
It felt good.
I still have my mud.
It still felt good.
I just played my mind. I wasn't there. Did you go on at 8? You're kidding about that.
Sunrise.
15 hours on stage.
We did a religious thing. It was Sunday morning.
You did?
Yeah.
Something,
Morning raga.
I see. Is it weird to work at that hour? I mean, can you get anything?
Well, have you ever worked
going?
at that hour?
I haven't done anything at that hour. We won't elaborate on that. Well, how was the festival in general? Would you consider it a success?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was probably the strangest thing that's ever happened in the world.
Everybody said there was some feeling about
Can I describe to you what it looked like flying in on a helicopter, man? It looked
Yes.
like an encampment of the Macedonian army on the Greek hills, crossed with the biggest batch of gypsies you ever saw.
it. How did you get out? I hear that they're still trooping back.
It was, yeah, fast. It was amazing.
There's a busload of people who thought they had tickets to the Lawrence Welk show, and they're still. Was the sound okay, and could everybody hear? And
Oh, yeah.
Bill Hanley sound.
Chip Monk, also. Mr.
Yes.
Chip Monk.
Chip never lets you down.
Never, man, never. He's
I
for
hate
sure.
those concerts where you, after the 10th row, you can't hear, and the act comes out and says, "Good evening, pass it on." You know, and you go, what is the thing that drives you the most up the wall? Bad sound equipment.
Bad sound and especially bad monitor sound, because of course that's how we sing. You know, if you notice earlier when Grace was putting one hand to her ear like that, that just closes one circuit in there, and you sort of hear by conduction, and then you can sing even if you can't hear. But when you see somebody doing that, it means there's no monitor sound. That's the toughest.
Is that why you do that?
Grace actually has a mastoid
Thanks for all your
problem.
help.
Yeah. I thought it was show business.
She had a boil behind her.
What'd you do, Grace, in your off hours at the festival?
Get on.
Does anyone want to answer
Jim,
for her?
Listen, Jim, I wish I could tell you.
You've got to learn my name, Miss Joplin. Wait a minute.
Touche.
Calling me Jim like
She was
that.
good.
Sorry, Ralph.
Didn't they teach you nothing at Finch?
Gotcha. History.
How did I know that?
History strikes back.
Please, let's get her back.
This
How
is
did
your
you-
life.
No, this isn't your life, but you did go to Finch. And you don't somehow fulfill my image of the typical Finch girl.
Finch out.
Why not?
I don't know, somehow there's something looser about you, and you sort of, I don't
I
know what
only
it-
went there for a year.
Yeah.
It takes 2 years.
How would you be different if you'd gone there for 2 years?
I don't know, because I didn't stay.
And we'll never find out, will we?
I hope not.
All right. Your move. We're learning to communicate. I was going to ask you something. Do you ever, as a group, ever get asked to endorse a political candidate the way actors do, or certain singers?
We
more?
laugh.
Have you?
Usually try not to.
Do you? Why? That's
How many of
sort
them? How many of them have you seen that you would endorse?
I'd sing for Pierre Trudeau.
Yay! Yay! Now Pierre Trudeau's another.
I
one.
would sing for Pierre Trudeau. He's very good.
A conspicuous good.
I guess
example.
everybody knows you're from Canada. Your work is sort of unpolitical in general, isn't it? You don't.
Well, yeah, I sing mostly about love and things that I can understand. I don't understand politics, mainly because in Canada we just never do anything very political. The biggest political news that I can remember ever there was the choosing of the flag. And that took 3 years. And they finally
Great
chose one
arguments.
that none of us liked.
Fantastic
And it
arguments
faded
there.
and everything. And, oh, well.
But we're still here to the south of you, protecting your border. When you're up around playing concerts and touring around the country, do you still get guys yelling at you, get a haircut, and
Sometimes you get, "Hey Ringo, did your barber die?"
marvelous witty fellows?
Either that or hippie creeps.
What do you do about that? Suppose you're walking down a street.
We used to collect
and
them.
3 guys come toward you, and they have crew cuts, and How's that?
Peace and love, flowers.
No, what would you do? Actually, if you're in a menacing situation, I say, hey,
Split,
weirdo, you know.
leave, go away,
Yeah?
instantly, be someplace else as rapidly as possible.
Get into the center of another city.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes, that's what I always do when I'm menaced.
The best thing to do.
City up in Woodstock. There's like more people up there than there are within there are in San Francisco.
Did you consider that as a city, man?
Say, how do you mean?
Well, I mean, for instance, like about 2 nights ago, that place up there was the second biggest city in New York,
Yeah.
and had no violence.
Did the mayor show up?
I don't think it was his kind of city.
Yeah. But they did have a garbage problem, and he's a specialist in those. Well, did your parents all know where you are? I mean that semi-seriously. Do any of you have
Parents?
No,
No, we all
of course. Give me time to phrase this. What do your folks do, Grace?
What do they do?
Yeah, you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Mother's a housewife, father's an investment banker.
Is that so? And do they like your profession, or would they rather you'd gone into dentistry or something more secure?
I think they like it.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. What turned the trick for them?
Yeah. Same for me. That's the first time.
Hey, do you have trouble getting credit cards?
No.
No.
They never see us.
Do you read your reviews? Do you like to read analyses of your work and critics who try to say what it is you're saying and all that stuff?
Leonard Feather once said we sounded like a cow kicking down a backyard fence. That was one of our more favorite.
Cow kicking down a backyard fence? Yeah.
Try not to pay too much attention to him if we can help it.
Do you generally believe in astrology? Hands. You do.
He really looks like a lion, doesn't he? He's a Leo, David.
He's a Leo?
Mm-hmm.
And Grace is a Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, I gotta read you this. I found this thing about Scorpio. You're a Scorpio? I am too, as a matter of fact.
Watch out for Scorpio.
This is from a book on astrology. Scorpios are powerful, forthright, passionate individuals who would never carry a pocketbook which did not harmonize with their suits. They've really got my number.
Fantastic.
Are you a
I've never
Scorpio?
carried a pocketbook. Yeah, weaknesses are Scorpios have a tendency to sex enslavement, and I'll just keep reading here.
Yeah.
Get it?
And a liability to the overuse of stimulants. This is about me?
What are you?
I'm a Scorpio.
Yay!
And the stimulants thing is true. I can wig out on an overdose of iced tea. Let's, Stephen, do you want to do number 4? So is there anything we left out? Anything anybody wants to say? Or rap about?
Oh, a million things.
You can't say
Are there?
At least a million.
Anything that we can use on the air?
Burn the city.
Anything you've always wanted to say on television that nobody ever gave you the chance to
Yes,
say?
yes, I got
What am
one.
I doing?
I got one.
They just passed out in the executive room upstairs.
I got one, and I don't even think it's wrong.
Okay.
Well, like the air that we're all breathing is not clean, right? You're aware of that, right?
Right.
Everybody is. Anybody that looks out the window. Consider this. The only way to solve it seems to be to convince GM, Ford, Chrysler, 76 Union, Shell, and Standard to go out of business. Which is merely a setup for the punchline, which is fat chance.
Yeah. Especially since 4 of them are my sponsors. We'll be back another season.
Please.
Stephen, could you do a number 4, do you think, before it's too late?
Number 6.
Please.
Number 9.
Number 9.
That's always been my...
Will I get to the end?
Yes, before you know it.
That's what I was afraid of.
You have all the time you want.
24 years ago, I come into this life, the son of a woman and a man who lived in strife. He was tired of being poor, and he worked like the devil to be more. A different kind of poverty now upsets me so. Night after sleepless night, I walk the floor and I want to know, why am I so alone? Where is my woman? Can I bring her home? Have I driven her away? Is she gone? Morning comes the sunrise and I'm driven to my bed. I see that it is empty and there's devils in my head. I embrace the many-colored beast. I grow weary of the torment. Can there be no peace? And I catch myself just wishing that my life would simply cease.
We're going to hear once more from everyone before we go away. Joni's going to sing one number for us. First of all, I would like to apologize to the people who sat on this concrete floor this whole time. I'm going to massage all of you before. I'm not really doing it. Joni, you're going to sing. Don't hold me to that. You're going to sing a cappella.
Mm-hmm.
Was your guitar stolen?
No.
Joni Mitchell.
This is a song that I wrote for America as a Canadian living in this country. And it's called The Fiddle and the Drum. And so once again, my dear Johnny, my dear friend, and so once again, you are fighting us all. And when I ask you why, you raise your sticks and cry, and I follow, my friend. How did you come to trade the fiddle for the drum? You say I have turned like the enemies you've earned, but I can remember all the good things you are. And so I ask you, please, can I help you find the peace and the star? Oh, my friend, what time is this to trade the handshake for the fist? And so once again, oh, America, my friend, and so once again you are fighting us all. And when we ask you why, you raise your sticks and cry, and we follow, my friend. How did you come to trade the fiddle for the drum? You say we have turned like the enemies you burned, but we can remember all the good things you are. And so we ask you, please, can we help you find the peace and the star? Oh, my friend, we have all come to fear the beating of your drum.
Jefferson Airplane. Last time.